Stream Elements said the busy builder is now live, streaming miniatures.
Hello. There are fingerprints on my glasses. That's better. Eight, 23, 35, 55. Itchy leg. There. Hope everybody's having a great Christmas day, if anyone's watching. Okay, it looks like they've got 23 and 24 backwards in the instructions. So when it comes to these parts, this should be 23, this should be 24. The way you can tell is there's a little dog leg in the part right there with that plate. It has to stick out away. If you glue it on like it shows, you won't be able to fit it. You'll see in just a moment. It goes like that. This actually comes up from underneath like that. Okay. Just like that. If you follow the instructions, you won't be able to do it. And that's on there proper. Let's build the other side, because then they get joined up. Right, like this, and then they get glued on. Now my intention isn't to make the dozer blade movable, but if that is an end result of it, then that's fine. Who? Hi. Careful, Allie. You almost fell. Give me a second, girl. Okay? Here. Come here. Come on. Good girl. These other sprues are road wheel and turret parts. We'll get to them in a second. Hi. Come here. Good girl. Hi, little nibbler. Yeah, she bit me on the hand yesterday. I hadn't woken up fast enough for her, so she decided to Well, she starts out with just like little nibbles, you know, nothing big. But I think by the time she got here, she got a chunk and just kept biting in. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Go. Big yawn. I believe these are the shackles that the hooks for the bar go into. There's a bar with two hooks that grab into these. Nope, that's just a little bit. Okay. And then we have this. So we flip them over. Okay. Oh, I see how this works. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because this little tab here, that's what, there's a pull handle. It's this. I'm not going to make it functional. But the driver pulls on it, it lifts the hooks up, and releases the blades. So they can be raised or lowered. It's basically just a travel lock. The way they want it done in this, though, I gotta be careful, because they want me gluing the hooks to this. This is gonna be interesting. It's definitely fragile. So I'm gonna actually glue these to the hull first. And then I'll at least, yeah, because I'll be able to set that in. Yeah, I'll be able to slide it in and over, I think. Let me figure things out for a sec. Because these go here. Plate goes there. I just got to be sure to get these things as even as possible. Oh, come on. Work with me. Okay. There's enough lateral movement that I can do it this way. I just wasn't sure. I just have to. ultimately I'm probably going to have this made in the raised position. I can't exactly move the handle. Looks like that's the only way I can really do it anyway, so I'm worried about nothing. Oh. This is going to be fun. There's one in. I have to have this hook right here in between and then feed the pipe in. I'm glad I didn't try and assemble this and then put it on. I need the third hand that the tank basically supplies. There. And then that one there. That one there. And then rotate this around until it's actually in the position it's supposed to be in. Okay. And that's a tight fit too. Not supposed to do this yet, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to keep that locked in place. If I felt like fabricating one of these, I could make this work. But I don't feel like doing any masochistic stuff today, so we're just gonna assemble. Okay. Well, again, I hope everybody's having a good day today. W14, W63. We're having a quiet day here. I'm actually amazed I'm able to do any of this at all. I woke up this morning, my hands were like lobster claws. I couldn't move my fingers for anything. Okay, so what is this trying to tell me to do? Says
at George Davis 7629
Hey George,
said hey builder.
how goes it? Okay, so this goes here. Kind of? Sort of?
At George Davis
I don't know.
7629 said hope you're having a good Christmas.
It's good and quiet. I want to say from what this is trying to do, this goes in here. So I'm going to glue this piece in place first, and then we'll get to that. There we go, now it's sitting properly. Right. Excellent. Let's do that again for the other side. Yeah, I don't know how long we'll be on today. I've got nothing planned, so it could be a full stream. It just depends. Depends on how I feel, like, you know. I had kind of a rough evening yesterday. Not like personal trouble, but just being able to hold or do anything if that comes back. And that came on quick yesterday too. How's your Christmas been? That's what I forgot to get. I could have gone and got some Christmas crackers. But I got a nice little model set from Aries. He sent me this. And my wife got me a 16 scale tank crew that I'm going to adapt to my Stug 4. And a RAF Lake and Heath Strike Eagle. There we go, got that one in. Fit is tight on this, but now you can see why I was so worried about getting that damn thing centered last stream, not censored. Because if I didn't have that centered, we'd have a lot of trouble right now. Hallie girl. Wife got me a new hat for Christmas too. W1 and 3. Still haven't done much to the turret. I really didn't work on this at all since my last stream. The only thing I did, just to make sure it worked, was I put the Hoffman device on the barrel. And some other little things, but that's it. 19... $42... But I also have a static grass applicator on the way. And I want to play around with some of the Vallejo effects for frost. Remember I was saying I wanted to do like a hoarfrost on the grass, like that really light frost you get on the roof of your car and stuff. Right when it's about to get to freezing and snowing. From what I've seen, if I airbrush it on, it does that. If I do it just right. So I want to test it a little bit. That'll be here next week. The static grass applicator will be here Sunday, which will allow me to get the grass on the base, and I could even do a little test base and airbrush it on that to see if it does what I want it to. Come on, get in there. There. Okay, this one here. Clean it up a little bit more. So are you off till Monday? Got Boxing Day and all that off? If I can just get 11 more subs in 5 or 6 more days, we can break 700 by New Year's. I need 43 and 38. This one's 43 and 38.
George Davis 7629 said
No
"Had to
worries.
go for a bit. How's the bill?"
It's coming along okay. I was asking if you had the entire weekend off, like Boxing Day all the way till Monday, or if you're like me, having to work tomorrow and Friday, or tomorrow and Saturday. I'm off Sunday and Monday at least, and New Year's Day. I also showed off how Aries sent me a War of the Worlds model, and my wife got me an F-15 from Lakenheath. So that goes there.
At George Davis 7629 said been good. Just at my mom's at the At George Davis 7629 said Mo.
I know what you meant. Yeah, you see how leaving these loose to swing allows
At
that.
George Davis 7629 said not a bad kit selection.
Oh, and a 16th scale tank crew to go with my Stug 4.
George Davis 7629 asks how's the build going?
It's going alright. Arthritis flare-ups aside. Plan is, outside of road wheels, I want to have all the main sub-assemblies done today. So like the turret, the dozer blade itself, because that gets kind of attached separately, I hope. Kinda. I can figure it out. I just don't want it attached when I go to paint, because it'll make it hard to get up into here. That's going to be hard enough as it is already.
At George Davis 7629 said thought your cam wasn't showing your face for some reason.
No, I'm just wearing a hat. Wife got me a Wayland Yutani LV426 hat for Christmas.
At George Davis 7629 said nice wire work.
What, that? That's plastic. There's been no wire yet. God, that's a tight fit. Ellie got down. I also got the filter changed on my room's fan. I've got a box fan going, and then attached to that is a 2-inch by 2 foot by 2 foot air filter. And it is surprisingly effective as just a broad room air filter. I just tape it to the front of it, put a hole in it to allow the wire through for the plug.
At George Davis 7629 said you don't need the static grass thing unless you are doing a lawn.
I am doing a wilder looking grass, so yes. I want it to stand up a bit more. I've tried it without, and it still lays down too much. I've got a pretty good example of, you know, I can do a small thing with it, and I've got an example already without it.
7629 said most of the time grass isn't vertically upright unless it's short.
Tell that to my backyard. And it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be like small patches here and there. Trust me. I didn't pay a lot for it. It's battery powered. Just gonna have fun and see what it does. And most of the time, grass isn't even a thick, lush carpet either. It's sporadic, and if you look at most people's yards from a satellite view, they'd be horrified to see just how patchy their yard is.
George Davis 7629 said have a building sesh until next Friday.
Huh? But overall, I want the applicator, one, for getting the grass down, and two, I want it to stand taller because, like I said, I'm going to be putting a frost effect on it, and I think it'll read to the eye more if it's standing up. It's 38. I'll be trying the Vallejo stuff.
George Davis 7629 said my mom wanted to watch Apocalypse Now. Is it any good?
It depends on which version you watch and things of that nature. The original theatrical cut seems tame compared to the Redux version. The Redux version has a lot of gratuitous nudity and other scenes in it that weren't in the theatrical cut, and I can understand why they were cut. You know, it's not a totally gory war movie, but there is some elements of gore at the end when they chop a cow's head off. Which was done live. Is there a reason she wants to watch a war movie from the 1970s, 80s? The Redux version is also 3 hours long, where the original one was considerably shorter. Not exactly what I'd call a Christmas movie either. Yeah, it's not a bad film. Not a casual viewing experience, at any means.
George Davis 7629 said, damn, poor cow. I hadn't seen it LMAO.
You haven't seen it? Yeah, it's not your typical Vietnam War movie. It's a head fuck. It really is. It's got especially towards the beginning, it's got its more standardized action scenes. But then as it goes on, it gets more cerebral and, you know, a bit more, I don't know, just a bit more internal than anything. It still has action kind of throughout, but not as not like what you'd expect. Have you ever read Heart of Darkness? If you've read the novel Heart of Darkness, it's that in Vietnam. There's more to it than that, but it's essentially that in Vietnam.
George Davis 7629 asks,
No,
"Is
that
the one with the Marine Corps drill
is
instructor?"
Full Metal Jacket. That's not an easy watch either. Those are two of the most, I don't want to say controversial. They were at the time they were released. But you know how they're visceral. How's that? They're visceral. They're not bad, but they're not casual viewing either. I don't like how this is warped.
At George Davis 7629 said, "I haven't. My mom recognizes the book though."
Yeah, it's Heart of Darkness set to war is the easiest way to explain it. The production was so troubled that Martin Sheen even had heart attacks during it. Yeah, they're good movies, but they're not casual viewing experiences by any means. At least not for me. I've got to be in the right mindset to watch either film. But as far as, like, if you do decide to watch Apocalypse Now, she'd probably be fine if you just went with the original theatrical cut. The Redux version is more for fans of the film that want more of it, if that makes sense. Like, my father saw it in theaters. I grew up with it. So when the Redux version came out back in, I want to say 2000, we went and saw that in theaters together. Because by then I was a vet, he was a Vietnam War vet, and we both had like a mutual understanding of it. It was weird being able to go back and see that film as an adult with my father. Hey Bouncer, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Happy Christmas. Hello there.
Bouncer Watts said, lovely Mary Xmas. How is you?
I'm doing alright. Trying to kind of push my way through the rest of the dozer blade assembly on this M60. Almost feels like I bit off more than I can chew with it. Excellent kit. Definitely not for a beginner modeler. Not that I'm that, but I wouldn't recommend it for a first model for somebody. How are you?
Bouncer Watts said, so def not for me. I am gonna get a bunch of space wolves tomorrow to start working on that.
Are you going for the new style or are you going for the classic style?
RS_Studios just redeemed free hits.
Hey, Aris is here. It's about time you showed up.
Bouncer Watts said, new ones I reckon, and a older Captain model.
Trying to see how they've got this thing. Looks like it's flush with the top. And then this. Doesn't really give a direction, does it?
RS_Studios said, just wanted to see how y'all doing.
I'm doing okay. Yeah, like that. How you doing? Yeah, line up. If when in doubt, line up the angle. I hope to at least be on the painting phase of this by Monday.
Studios said, have a bunch of people coming over, so probably will dip soon.
Alright.
RS_Studios said soon.
So Fenrir and the Goose and everyone are coming over to your place instead?
RS_Studios said, I am at their place.
Oh, gotcha. So you're mobile. Okay. That might be too strong. I have to keep this
Studios said yes.
in here. And then get this back down in here. Yeah, this blade assembly could have been parted out slightly differently. And that'll keep that tucked in. A little more glue there. I need to see if I can find pictures of the real thing here. Because I can find pictures of it from the front, but I need one of the top. Because I don't know if there's a seam there or not. me do some Google sleuth real quick. There is a lip there. Okay. So these actually need to go more like that. Good enough. We'll let that sit for a minute. While that dries, we can work on the turret some. Actually, we've already come up on our first break time. So I'm going to take a move around break real quick and sneeze. And back. No, don't do that. There. Okay. Actually, we'll probably just press on with this as far as I can. Come here, fingies, work. 36 times 4. Actually, let me just make this easier to handle. Cut off the half of the sprue I don't need anymore. I'm glad I didn't rush through and try and build this quicker, though. I think I would have caused myself a lot more problems. I think the forecast still says we're supposed to get snow tonight into tomorrow. The way my hands are feeling, that might be right. Now it's saying rain. Great. I don't want snow so I can drive in it, but I wouldn't mind having some so it builds up in the mountains. You doing okay over here, Frank?
7629 said, "Hey, RS."
I think he left already, George. He was just popping in to say hey. He's over at a friend's house for their Christmas dinner. Like I said, I hope to get this ready for at least paint by Monday. If not Sunday. I've been trying to save all the juicy bits for streaming, but depending on how things go next couple days, I might just finish up the base construction. Doesn't look to be anything too special, just simple things like the road wheels and turret details, things like that. We'll see how far we get today. Hey, big boy. Yeah, Takom's definitely channeling the Games Workshop sprues here. So far, we're still on track for February for the old school build. Getting all my ducks in a row for that one. Thinking if I do this right, I might be able to just pop it on after. Yeah, worst comes to worst, I just gotta file a couple things here and there. Everything else is snapped together pretty well. So did you guys get any model related stuff for Christmas? I'm going to be stocking up on some supplies here next couple weeks. Yeah, for the base coat, I'll definitely want to have the dozer blade off, but when I go to do the camouflage, I can reinstall it. So that way it gets painted appropriately. And it's important you do get these in order, left to right or right to left. They're actually molded in the correct sequence. Because this goes into one side, this meets up here, this goes here, this one goes in the next one, and so on. It's been a good quiet day today though. Very Very British Christmas. This is what I remember Christmas being like when I lived over there. No snow, for me anyway. I lived in Suffolk, and just drizzly, rainy, and not terribly cold either. It's like, it's in the 50s out right now. Chilly but comfortable. Aww. Hey, big boy. Hey, Frankie. You're a good boy. Happy squints. I'm just gonna let these dry. I don't even want to test fit it right now. The most I can do is hold it up and make sure they're not too wide. So these ones are good. These ones can be pinched a bit more. Got a little bit of wobble room. That'll fit. That'll fit. Okay. And these all go into these. I wonder, even though I've got it clamped, yeah, if I lift up on it just a bit, I can undo them. So once it's built, I can do it either way if I like. But for now, we'll just leave them clicked into place. Probably wouldn't hurt to undo them when I go to install the blade, just so I can have more movement, and I don't have to risk snapping them. Alright. So I kind of went through and did some of the first steps on the turret. Just little pieces here and there, nothing really major. Frank. I'm just moving around. I'm not throwing your toy right now, okay? We'll play fetch later. Yeah, we'll fetch later, big guy. Alright, we'll do the loader's hatch. Jerry cans. Smoke dischargers, we're gonna need those. Might need some bits from here, bits from here. Okay, loader's hatch. this spring. Now, typically when you see the M60 in model form, you usually don't see the loader's periscope installed. But we're doing that on this one. H5. There. Okay. Sorry if I've gotten a little quiet. Just the music's sounding right, and it's just one of those days. Okay. Release latch. And I'm getting sleepy fingers. Yay. Alright, so let's put this in the open position since we will have the hatch open. there. I need N8 and N5. Start with N8. If I do this right, the hatch might be movable, which will help when painting it. That. I'll just leave it closed for now, which will give me time to let the glue set up once I get it repositioned again. But yeah, that'll be just fine. Okay. Autofocus is really not playing well at all lately. There we go. Yeah, I don't feel like dealing with those just yet. So we'll leave those till very last. Because if I do those, there's going to be yelling and swearing, and yeah, it just won't be fun. P9. And 5. And 12 and 30. much time is left on this? Actually, it's repeated, so let's... that. And this just goes like that, I guess. That. Oh, that's why. The Takom tabs strike again. That's what I call them anyway. There's other companies that have them, but Takom seems to be really bad about these. Go. To be honest, I'm probably going to call it a stream here. I'm getting hungry. Had an early breakfast today. Got up later than normal time for a day like today, but still early. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go grab some lunch, kind of chill out the rest of the day, let some of this dry up. Like I said, I'll probably just rush through the rest since it's pretty basic assembly stuff. There's nothing special. And I'll get it ready for paint on Sunday. So, thanks for hanging out. I hope you all have a good Christmas and enjoy the rest of your weekend after today. And I will see you all Sunday. So take it easy.